Well, hello there. To recap for what is going to happen in today's video, first off, hi, I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Welcome back to another tutorial. This is a series, I'm calling it, for a bridal series? I'm already lost for words. Go, this is going to be fun. Anywhoosies, last week we prepped all of this lovely greenery and all of these flowers, and we based our color scheme off of a blind pick from these lovely boxes of cards I have that have hundreds upon hundreds of different color stories, if you will. And the one, whoop, things are moving on my table. The ghost is back. Oh, and there's one that's called Ghost White. The card that we picked was right here. So if you want to go back to the first video, take a look at the colors that we picked, how I dyed all of the flowers, how we stemmed all of the greenery, so on and so forth. So today is going to be fun. We're going to go and dive right into it, and we're going to work on a bridal bouquet first. So I do have in here some greenery that is from other craft stores, but our main base is going to be the Italian ruscus. And I do have a whole bunch of individually stemmed up pieces, but I have some longer 20-inch stems. I'm gonna use those two as a base. So with all that said, let's jump into it, shall we? All right, so I want this to be kind of wild and crazy. So I'm starting off with two 20-inch Italian ruscus. These just have such a nice whimsical kind of flow to them. I did also grab two 14-inch pieces that are fully on their stems as well, just to fill in that base a little bit. So there's the start of our bouquet. Y'all, I'm a little rusty. I feel like I haven't done a bouquet in a while. So all of this is pretty wild pieces. I'm just going to flank one on one side, flank one on the other side. And just kind of keep building that way. When it comes to the greenery, I'm finding the more and more I work with both greenery and flowers, I tend to like to go bit by bit, material by material. I used to be a lot more willy-nilly, and somehow I've created structure in my life. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Do we want this to be more flat back? And if that's the case, then I'm gonna change out some of this greenery, in particular the 14-inch that's flanking. Shouldn't flank the back, because that's just a misuse of material. We'll flank it to the bottom that way. I'm liking that. And when I say flat back, what I mean by that, the back, it's kind of like a fan, more so that it sits a little bit nicer up against the body, especially, and then yeah, I feel good about this. And we're gonna go, ooh, that likes to grab onto stuff. Okay, noted. We're gonna go kind of out to the sides, but we're not really gonna tumble anywhere in the front. Okay, we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna keep that in mind as I'm building this, not to fill the back too much, and keep that a little bit flatter than the rest. And I think I'm gonna get one more fern, and then we'll move on to the next greenery. Okay, so there's that. And in all honesty, you could stop right there. You know, we're not going to though. Okay, so these are individually, so there's not a lot to them. So I'm gonna probably grab a handful at a time as I'm putting these in, instead of one by one. But you can go in one by one. I just like to kind of put them together so that there's a little bit of height difference, but it's a little bit quicker to put them all in there. Actually, let's do 3 for this one. And then when my hand, like the mechanics of this, I'm holding it pretty tight while I'm not moving things around, but as I'm putting in flowers, I kind of loosen up my hands a little bit so that those wires can get through as easily as possible, but we're still holding on to it so that we don't lose everything that we just built. And I do have a couple pieces left over just in case of each thing, so I can fill in spots that I feel like need to be filled out. The other thing to do when you're working on a bouquet is there's two handy things you can do. One, pull your arm back as far as possible and look at it from there and see where there's a hole or where maybe something's, you know, sticking out a little bit further than you want or isn't mixing in with the rest of the stuff, and pivot there. The other trick is to stand in front of a mirror. Hold it there. That's what I kind of do sometimes on camera. Hold it there in front of a mirror, look at it, and see what you can see from that as well. All right, we're down to this little ferny piece, and then we'll add in the faux baby's breath. And for the bridal, we are going to have a special flower just in the bridal bouquet, I think. I have 3 of these. So they're like a real touch flower, and they'll mix in just fine with the wood flowers. Again, the reason why I really love to build bouquets using our Italian ruscus is I say it's magical, and I absolutely mean it. That particular greenery, for whatever reason, plays really well with both yellow toned, like yellow toned main yellow toned greenery, as well as it plays along with blue toned or blue undertones. I don't know why. I've looked at it a little bit further, and I feel like maybe because the tips of the leaves have a little bit more yellow to them and the base is a little bit more darker and on the blue tone. But whatever it is, it's magical and I love it, and that's why I use it all the time. It just plays so well with all sorts of different greenery. Ooh, she be wild. All sorts of texture. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think before I add in the baby's breath, I am gonna do one twist tie or zip tie on this so we can hold this together so I don't have to feel like my hands are cramping. And then we'll keep adding more of the filler, and we'll also, I think, add in these special flowers right from the get-go. Zip tie has been secured. I ran out of green ones. It's not gonna matter that much, but nonetheless I did. That just gives my hand a little break. Or we might just use the baby's breath for the bridal bouquet and nothing else. We'll have to see. And once it's got the zip ties in, again, it's not gonna go inside the zip tie, so it's gonna go around the zip tie. We're gonna add a new zip tie in a minute and cut off the old one. Sometimes you can get it in there though, depending, but right now I'm just kind of flanking. This is where I have all those individual pieces of Italian ruscus. I'm definitely gonna be adding some in there too, just to fill in some spots that I feel like need a little something something. All right, so there's that. And then we've got the 3 special flowers that are just for the bridal bouquet. So those we're gonna make a more kind of a triangle for those. So I'm gonna flank one on each side. I say that, but then do you see that? It's creating this like harsh line. I don't want that. So we're gonna bury it in a little bit. There we go. and have the flowers keep going with the flow that we have going. And then the last one, so we have the choice of either popping it in front, and if I do, I'll probably remove the leaves or go somewhere in the center. I like that, but I'm not loving, I want to try to, I'm thinking I'm going to take the leaves off of these. Do you see what I mean when I'm saying they stick out just a little bit more than what I would like as far as the coloring goes? Oh. All right, I think I was able to hide it well enough. I'm gonna shake things up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I think this part's done. So I'm gonna zip tie again and cut off the other one like I mentioned. And we might start trimming down some of the wires too, so we have less to do at the end. The ribbon we're gonna use is, I have this like crushed velvet purple kind of ribbon. I think it's gonna tie in with the purple flowers really well. And I think what we're gonna do is from about this location to maybe about here is where we're going to wrap it. I'm also going to just play around a little bit with some of this broom filler and give it little haircuts here and there where I want. And then we're pretty much done, you guys. To finish off the bouquet, all I did then was wrap a little bit of my ribbon around there and hot glued it together, and she is done. She is lovely. She's vivacious. And I mean, it worked out pretty well. I was a little nervous about this color story, but it is coming together really, really well. It's bright and vibrant and lovely on this cold, cold winter day. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it taught you just a couple little things, or it was just entertaining to watch. Next week, most likely, the bridesmaid bouquet will be up. So take a look at that if you're enjoying this series. Again, if you want to see how all of the flowers and greenery were prepped and gotten ready, make sure to check out the video from last week. I'm Stephanie. Whoa, hold up, stop. I forgot all the other YouTube things. I did. All right, here we go. If you're loving this channel, can't get enough, want to know the next time we post a video, which is typically on Wednesdays, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell to find out about the 150 style Sola wood flowers along with craft supplies in Greenery. Go to ohyourelovely.com, but before you do, let me grab you something. Use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off your first order. Whew, there we go. I got it all in there. I'll see you guys next week. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and you, my friends, are absolutely lovely. Bye, guys.